We're going to have to, I know I'm going to go to the vice president in a second. We're going to be, hang on a second, Madam Vice President.
Sure.
We're going to be going to the Congress.
Hang on a second, Madam Vice President.
Sure.
Move. Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way.
Capping off a full week of Kamala Harris disasters, the momentum in this race has completely shifted. Donald Trump is where all of the excitement is. Donald Trump is where all of the energy is. And of course, this has the Democrats very, very worried. And of course, we have some wonderful clips to back all of these claims up. But before we begin, please like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
I can feel the tension in you. This is just, you're just excited and tense. It could be anything. It's 25 days before the election. And I got to say, it's not looking that great for the Democrats. I mean, this is not a good sign. You know, when you have an African-American candidate, you probably shouldn't be having to shore up your support among black men, but that's what's going on. Tim Walz is headlining a voter engagement event tonight with black men. Who better to connect with young black men than Tim Walz? Because apparently Michael Bublé was unavailable. Meanwhile, Kim Kardashian's like, hello. But of course, for some young, especially the younger black men, it's a tough choice. Harris is African-American, but Trump has a sneaker line.
So just about a week ago, Bill Maher was actually saying Kamala Harris is going to win, right? He guarantees it. But now he has to come out and say, you know what? Democrats are worried. He must admit this fact. And you have to wonder why. Well, of course, you have flare-ups in the Middle East. You have the horrible response of the federal government to Hurricane Helene. And then, of course, you have a full-on fail of a media blitz this week from Kamala Harris, where everyone's actually able to see her in her own words and say, ooh, we don't like what you're saying, lady. And all of this has damaged her campaign. And, of course, those pesky undecided voters are really causing a lot of headaches for folks on the left, including Mika Brzezinski. Check this out.
Angelo, just if you can ask briefly, you've been, a little bit leaning Harris, and I know tonight you raised some concerns. Why are you in the write-in camp right now?
In my opinion, the more I look back into it, the more I watch the debate, the more I look into her campaign, I cannot trust her. I'm not going to vote for Trump, but the more I think about it, the more I just don't know if I can vote for Harris. I just do not trust her. I'm more inclined to write someone who I feel like would best represent me through my vote.
And Abigail, how about you?
Some people said some things tonight that motivated me to do a little bit more research about the other side to January 6th that I haven't heard about before. But the thing is, I do not want to vote for someone. I do not want to tell my children that I voted for someone that actually threatened democracy. You know what I mean? I need to analyze and think a little bit more before I just vote for Trump.
Oh, okay. So first of all, we thank everybody for participating. Absolutely no bad things to say about people who participate in these conversations. We thank you so much. But does anybody at this table need to take a deep breath? Because I do. I just do.
We've been listening to Undecideds for weeks on 2A, and it's really hard to believe that there are still people who might vote third party or try to write in. It's just such a lack of understanding about the stakes and about why that's just throwing your vote away.
Oh, my God.
I just have to say, I'm just trying to find that grace
Find the
in
grace.
this moment. But I will say, I'm a millennial. I'm not Gen Z, so maybe I'm not the best messenger. But we all have some friends who are saying neither of these candidates fully supports, my views, and I think Gen Z comes from a generation where politics has been broken for a long time. Okay, I'm sympathetic. What I would just say is the way to build power is to start with the reality that we have. And you don't want to throw away your vote. This is a choice between two people, and that's it. So are you really going to deny your neighbors Medicaid?
I just want to say to the panel there, I hear you, and these voters hear you. Donald Trump, if he wants to win, needs to say less. If Kamala Harris wants to win, she needs to say more. They don't like who Trump is, but they agree with him on inflation and immigration. They do like what Harris represents, but they still feel like she hasn't been sufficiently forthcoming. So the challenge for her campaign is keep doing the media, keep putting yourself out there. She should do your show. In fact, I'd say to her, she should commit to doing your show once a week between now and Election Day. If she loses, it is going to be because she didn't answer the questions.
So here's a focus group that is by no means excited about Kamala Harris. That doesn't mean they're going for Trump, as you heard, but they definitely have no excitement about Kamala, okay? And the panel is basically trying to hide their disappointment. Why are these young people so stupid? Please vote for Kamala. Save democracy from this horrible Hitlerian person that is Donald Trump. And Frank Luntz actually says something that I find quite interesting. He's wrong on both points, all right? He says Donald Trump should talk less, despite the fact that he's actually been talking more and his poll numbers have been going up. And he also says that Kamala Harris should talk more, even though despite the fact that she has been talking more, she's actually been doing more interviews. And what's been the result of that? Her poll numbers are going down. So I would say he's exactly wrong on both issues. Now, I know that Frank Luntz is actually a partisan actor, but I do enjoy the panels he puts together. He tends to have some pretty good reactions, and that's why I like highlighting those. But yes, you can see the disappointment on all of these people's faces. Why doesn't the youth vote understand the dire straits we are in?
But he's still kept this race pretty tight and maybe has made some inroads in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, absolutely he has. Vice President Harris's high watermark was about a week and a half after the convention. It's slowly been trickling down. That Quinnipiac poll showing the vice president down in Michigan and Wisconsin sent alarm bells throughout every Democrat office in the country. But I want to say this, the blue wall is cracking, and black men are just one part of a broader puzzle that she hasn't been able to reach. Now, to her credit, she hasn't been running for very long. This campaign's new. This is a new experiment of replacing somebody late in the cycle. So, okay, we'll give her that. However, she's struggling with union voters. The two of the biggest unions ever didn't endorse her. She's struggling with Muslim Americans in Michigan, according to CARE's own numbers. She's struggling with Hispanics in California. She's not expected to remake the Obama coalition. That's impossible. That's a 1 in a million, especially given the short time frame. But she has a lot of bigger problems, and that's why you see Tammy Baldwin panicking about being down more.
Kamala Harris is down among so many subgroups that it's basically laughable that people are believing this Real Clear Politics average of polls that have been coming out for the last several weeks, right? We've seen her losing support. We've seen her losing steam ever since, of course, her convention, as was pointed out there. And I've been talking about her dips in popularity, except for now, finally, the polls are actually starting to reflect the truth. They couldn't keep this hidden any longer because Election Day is fast approaching. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.